They say the snow remembers everything. I don't know if that's true, but I'll tell you this. The winter I found her, the world changed shape around us. Quiet like, no thunder, no music, just a woman in the snow and a fire I wasn't planning to light again. It started near the tail end of December, maybe 2 weeks before the river froze solid. I'd been living alone in the pines of Red Hollow, half a day's ride from the nearest soul, and even farther from any I trusted. I wasn't expecting company, much less someone dragging death behind her like a shadow. I was splitting logs behind the cabin when I heard it. Ragged breathing, soft, off rhythm, not animal. That kind of sound. It cuts through wind if you know what to listen for. I dropped the axe and followed it, quick and quiet. That's when I saw her. She was half buried in snow, curled around her belly like she was trying to shield something precious. Blood crusted her temple, her lips were blue, and her coat looked more like a memory than protection. One hand still clutched her stomach. That told me everything. I didn't ask her name. I didn't need to. I could see it written all over her. Fear, grit, the kind that don't fade even when the body's given up. I swept away her tracks with pine branches, covered what little trail she left, set a few snares, not for deer, but for men. Then I carried her home. She was light, too light for someone that far along. Whoever she was, she hadn't eaten enough to feed two. When I laid her down by the stove and wrapped her in furs, she didn't stir. Her face was sharp-boned, dirt-streaked, but young. "Damn waste," I muttered, "freezing out here with a baby. What kind of fool lets that happen?" I stoked the fire harder than I should have. I told myself years ago I was done feeding lost causes. But when that girl opened her eyes, barely, and whispered help, I knew I was lying. She didn't speak much in the days after, just nodded when I brought her broth, or tucked the fur tighter around her. I gave her space. Still, she watched everything. My boots by the door, my hand on the kettle, the old cradle by the hearth. She noticed that cradle. Everyone did. My daughter's name was Ellie. House fire took her and her mama in less time than it takes to snap a branch. After that, I never lit a fire for no one. Until now. One morning, maybe 5 days in, the girl, her name was June, I found out, stood up slow and whispered to the child in her belly, "We're safe now." Her voice cracked like thin ice, and I just kept chopping wood. Later that night, hooves. I felt them before I heard them, that cold pressure in your ribs like a storm's coming. I pulled June up by the elbow and walked her to the pantry, hit the panel, told her to get low. Take the blanket, stay quiet. She didn't argue. She knew the sound of hunting when she heard it. They knocked like they owned the land. Looking for a girl, pregnant, white, late 20s. I opened the door slow. Axe was by my side. "You see a woman out here," I said. "She's not pregnant long." They didn't like that. Tried to look past me. "You mind if we look around?" "I do." One of them spotted the axe and whispered something. Another laughed. "She ain't here," I said, "and if she was, I'd say the same thing." They paused. The cold does strange things to men's courage. Then they left. I didn't breathe till the snow swallowed their prints. June crawled out after a while, eyes wide but not crying. "They'll come back," she said. "Yeah," I told her, "so we won't be here." We left before first light. I knew someone down by the river. Agnes Hollowell, healer, stubborn as stone. Owed me nothing. That's how I knew I could trust her. June asked me why I was doing this. I didn't have an answer back then. I just said, I don't leave fires to go out on their own. She went into labor on the second day out. We barely made it to Agnes's porch before the pain dropped her to her knees. Agnes took one look and said, "The child's not waiting." Inside was warm, smelled like sage and salt. June laid by the fire, sweat soaking her hair, breath coming short. Then the hoofbeats came again. 3 men, bounty hunters this time. One held a paper. Runaway. Her brothers put up gold. Agnes stepped outside. "I see no woman," she said, "only wolves and wind." They pressed. She didn't flinch. That's when I stepped out of the trees, axe in hand. Didn't speak. Didn't have to. They saw something in my stance. Maybe the years, maybe the weight of everything I'd already lost. And they turned. Didn't say a word. Just mounted up and left like dust blown off the trail. Inside, June clutched my hand like a lifeline. She screamed, sobbed, bit her lip raw. I didn't let go. "I don't know what to do," I said once. Agnes didn't even look up. "Keep her?" she said. So I did. The baby came just before dawn. A girl, tiny, furious, perfect. June pressed her to her chest, whispering, "She's here because you kept the fire burning." I didn't say anything. Couldn't. Something cracked inside me, something old and rusted and still alive. Later, I built her a new cradle, pine wood, wildflower carvings, the kind her mother said she picked as a child. One day, more men came, paper in hand, smug. "She's a criminal," they said. I stepped outside, raised the axe. "She's a mother." The lead one sneered. "You hiding her?" "You want her?" I said. "You'll have to take me first." They didn't. I stood there, chest heaving, blood hot in my ears. June came out holding the baby. She looked at me like she hadn't seen me before, really seen me. "You didn't have to do that," she whispered. "They weren't worth the fight," I muttered. She smiled. "You are." I didn't know what to say. I still don't. But I remember her hand on my arm, her voice low. "You're not just a roof, you're a hearth." And for the first time in years, I believed her. They'll probably tell that story different down the line. Say I rescued her. Say I was some kind of hero. That ain't true. I just kept the fire burning. And sometimes that's enough. You'd be surprised what a man'll do, just to sleep at night.